Hey guys, this is COMPUTEROSIS, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Odama. And guess what? This is the final episode! I know, can't believe it, right? It's been just yesterday where you were watching the first episode and you're like, wait, what is this game? Why did you send me a link to this game? And then when you got to the second episode, you're like, oh, I see. And I can see you have some skills right there. And then we get to the third episode and you're like, wait, episode 3 part 1? That's right. There's only 4 stages left, but they're so damn epic that I basically cut this video in half. That's right, this video used to be about 48 minutes. I almost cut it down the center. 2 stages apiece. So, we're going to be starting off with the first of 4 awesome stages, Spider Temple. And this is where your mind gets blown, because this is the first stage that's literally a full-on 360 stage. Now, let me try to explain this to you in the best way I can. Okay. Do you remember the C-stick on the GameCube controller? Maybe you do. But the C-stick allows you to switch between 3 different areas on the map. Of this map right here. This is basically the front part, which is basically where your Nintendo will be going. Because it will be going up to the temple! Yes. But of course there is a problem when going up to the temple. First off, the temple is gate shut. And the only way to open it is to make sure the Odama conjures up a circle of pure light in order to make sure that it actually does open up. But how do we get in a circle? Well, that's where we have to find 2 Pacific statues, move them to a Pacific location, turn them into bumpers themselves, and then we have it go around in a circle in there. But you know, there's a reason why it's called Spider Temple, but I won't spoil it right now. In the meantime, I will say this though. This is one of those ones where if you don't have good aiming skills, as far as the Odama is concerned, this may take a while. And trust me, this took a while. I'm actually kind of embarrassed myself. I know I could have done faster. But for some reason I just wasn't in the mode. I mean, not entirely. I mean, sure, I tend to go and do that, but I mean, seriously, it's, oh man. But you know, I had to film this extra time sooner or later. Well, so I sort of did a little thing about how you felt when you first watched the first episode. For some of you, I sent it to you. And you're like, okay, why are you sending me this? And why are we oh, that's right. Because the majority of them have sent me. They want to be context. And I say yes. And then I realize, wait, I can send you stuff. Aha! Joke's on you! Up and coming musician, artist thingy. I'll send you Odama! What, the president? No, that's Obama. This is Odama, the GameCube game. One of the most unique GameCube games that can be frustrating. I will admit this didn't get me as frustrated because I played this multiple times, but when I was first playing it, this got me so frustrated. For the last 4 stages, I just literally, they just got me so riled up, and it's, God. And even though, like I said, even though you can manually move the C-stick around, basically you can only hit the Odama in which the area is in. So basically what's weird is that the Odama takes different planes when you do when it does swap from different areas. And I do show a couple times where you see the Odama about to go to the other side, but I flip the T stick manually, and all of a sudden the Odama's like set in the center, which means you have to move it back. It's, yeah. So we're basically close to the part where sorry, where you spend a majority of the time just trying to make sure I get the Odama up there. But the thing is, you have to hit all these trees away, and these trees are basically a real pain to cut down with the Odama. I will admit, they are, I would say they're very tough trees, but they can really hit off like your trajectory a little bit. I mean, really. Okay. I think one of the hardest things about this, for me, and you'll start noticing, is due to my lack of reserves to bring up morale, I had to resort to using rice balls, so I use a whole lot of rice balls. Of course, there is a stage where I do indeed use rice balls, and don't worry, if you've been wondering if I'll be using the cavalry, which, to be honest, I can't imagine anyone actually remembering that, but I'm going to assume so. I'm trying to be open-minded on all this. Actually, I am open-minded. So that saying meant nothing. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you thought that, damn it, so close. So if you thought that that I won't be using the cavalry because I'm just too damn good, I do end up using it. In fact, you can actually switch between rice ball and cavalry. I forgot to mention that. Even though, to be honest, I don't really do that. So I never felt the need to actually go and remember what button it was. Basically, you can do that after you run out of rice balls. So, wow, this stage takes up like most of this episode. So, I mean, this stage was it's not personally the reason why I got cut in half. It's just, wow. But then what I also found to be very interesting is that the first 2 episodes, if you haven't realized the timing is, they're about average of 24 minutes exactly. And this entire 2-part video, when put together, became 48 minutes. I'm not joking, and it just boggled my mind. I mean, wow, 96 minutes. In retrospect, the game is indeed, well, if you have the skills, an hour and a little over an hour and a half. Ah, crap, my morale is down. I'll be shooting a rice ball sometime soon, because apparently, for some reason, shooting exactly where I want it to be is not helping at all. So yeah. I think I already mentioned about how the targeting system for when you want to shoot out the rice balls is the same as the tilt button. Yeah. And I guess you couldn't make it the C stick because, you know, the C stick's like that. And I guess you can't control the camera saying camera left to make the camera go to the left, or camera right to go make the camera go to the right. I mean, they already give you so many commands, and to be honest, we haven't even got all the commands. In fact, during New Game Plus, you can actually try to get those commands yourself if you wanted to. But I will say this right now, this side right here, this one specifically, I never liked this side. I never liked this side. Not because of the trees, it was just the angle in which I had to shoot at. Which is weird though, because those angles I do initiate on, if you look very carefully, it looks like as if I'm actually am pretty close. It's just the whole thing is like, what, really? Is like like the one time I did not want to shoot directly, I end up shooting directly. Unbelievable. It's hard making up time, and I really don't want to spoil stuff stuff. These last 4 stages blow your mind. It blows your perceptions of stuff. It even has like these little tweaks where you're like, oh my gosh, that went out of the blue. That was awesome. So, I don't know. I guess I can talk about my favorite stage of Odama, which, to be honest, I don't really have a favorite stage. I'm pretty neutral about the whole neutral thing, but I do expect each of their stages like creativity on how you can solve it. Right? I would say I kind of like the stages where you're given multiple opportunities to do it, which is basically the beginning stages like Korea Plains 2, Korea Plains 3, and like 2 others just like it. We're given more than one way to go and complete the level. Here it's just one way. The next stage, without spoiling anything, there is multiple ways to beat it, but overall it just leads to the same place. I guess the best way to describe the next stage is pick your path. And I'll just leave it off on that. And since the majority of you probably have never played this game, and that doesn't spoil anything at all. Except when you do see it, you're like, oh my gosh, that spoiled so much. Wow, why did you do that? Well, first off, if you haven't seen my first LP that I did with my friend Sons of South Fan, the Co's, aka Hieroglyph, and of course, Trainman 446 as the human tripod. 2 of those names have, 2 of the people I've mentioned have changed YouTube accounts, but I'm trying to keep it as mentioned in the original video. Where if you watch that, despite the fact that it's still missing, well, I already mentioned that season 2 was lost. I've already made a video where I say I lost, the season 2 was lost in a computer crash, and season 3 has been covered by Vocable MMD. And I forgot the numbers again. We haven't yet to meet to actually go and release season 3 as sort of the lost season that about over 10 of you actually do want to remember. Yeah. Why is it so difficult? Oh, that was like a real kick to the face right there. Like, yes, I moved to the side. Damn it! And then I lose the Odama. Yeah. Wait, did that soldier just move the ball? No. Wow, that very rarely you get those moments where you're like, oh, that is so cool. So anyway, the Odama spinning in a circle, creating some sort of incantation, and then finally we unleashed the gateway, and now we got a spider boss, or according to X-Play standards, a Wild Wild West reject. Oh, and just in case if you're wondering, no, I don't touch him once with the Odama. I don't attack him once with the soldiers. This stage is done. We're already halfway through the first part of episode 3. Let's move on to the next stage. And I still got a lot of Odamas. Unbelievable. I'm just that good. Yes. Man. This game is just... It's so awesome. If this hasn't convinced you to play it at all, actually no, I think that stage might have convinced people to not play it, seeing as how long it took me to do it. But then again, the one thing that I kind of realized is if you're going to show off a game, I don't know if you should show off that you can beat it easily or not easily. That's the one thing I never got, exactly. But anyway, I'm digressing way further. We're on to the next stage. We're gonna be marching through town that has been taken over by the enemy. I kind of forgot their names. But then again, I vaguely remember the plot itself. Just the important tidbits. Names I never really cared for, mostly because of the fact I was never given a name. All I was given was the Almighty Lord of the Odama Ball, I think. So anyway, in this stage itself, what is there to do? You march. So, with that in mind, you have to not only say press forward or advance, you also have to make sure you say march left or march right at times. Now, of course, the first part of it, you rescue some people, hopefully, unless... And if you haven't already realized, the thing does indeed move, and if you don't get them in time, then you kind of don't see them again. But I will say this. The way the map is done, I will honestly say that actually, I think I'm going to repeat myself. There is no right way. There is no easy way to avoid everything. In fact, the way that I'm going was, if I remember correctly, this is the last way I tried the last time I played this game. I went to the right and then went off in that direction. Yeah. Yeah. So, now I've already figured out, like, we're moving, and thus we're basically destroying the town, village. It's a town village, a village town. Laos town. Yeah, reasonable. Okay, so, yeah, it basically, this is like a war parade right here. I just realized it's just one gigantic war parade. Okay, where my men go marching and I just lost the ball. Don't worry, at least I can shoot it at the right building and then destroy it in the inside. So yeah, yeah, as you can clearly see there, like I said, there is no right way, but there is a certain way to make sure you can finish this a little bit quicker. I basically just chose a standard way. It's not that bad, but I could have chose a different part, but thinking about it, not really. I mean, I could have gone to the left, and oh my god, my morale's already down. Quickly, eat the rice balls, because I don't have any men on reserve. I think this is going to be the main thing that's going to be the problem here. I don't have reserves, and I keep losing Odamas. Mostly due to the tight spaces, especially if you don't take care of certain buildings before, like your flippers and base destroy them themselves. I mean, really, and they don't do destroying themselves, then it's kind of there. But but like I said, I could have gone to the right, and then find a way to go straight out without having to like keep going to the left and then to the right. I could have done that, but no. I will say it has been a while since I played this, and to be honest, I never really cared too much for like which way to go, as long as you get there. I think there was only one time where I made the biggest mistake, ended up in an ambush, barely soldiers on my reserve. In fact, they were basically just getting killed. And I was basically just screwed. Like, I couldn't get my Odama to go green. Green. I couldn't get a heart piece to go over the Odama. It was a bad time. I will admit, even as sort of a wizard at this game, since it's still technically a game of chance, I'm not surprised that sometimes I do get off days. In fact, as sort of a little mini spoiler, I'm surprised I haven't failed. I mean, there's lots for stages. I was expecting to like fail at least one of them. But no, I don't. So yeah, it seemed as if that first time I lost during the first episode was all just one big publicity to show, wait a minute, not only can the Nintendo prevent you from, well, if it goes behind the flipper, give you an actual defeat, but also, so anything that's being carried can be defeated. My golly, COMPUTEROSIS has found a way to kill two ways to lose in one go. Oh, granted, there's a map on the side, but you know, I never really actually looked at the map. I mean, look, basically go up, go straight, go up, go left, go up, well, go to the right a little bit, and then go up. So, yeah. But anyway, this episode, this part of the episode is almost over. So anyway, I'll be seeing you in part 2 of Let's Play Odama. This has been COMPUTEROSIS. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe if that's your forte. And I'll be seeing you in part 2. In the meantime, get ready for more epicness. Oh yeah, we're just getting started. Oh yeah, yeah! Oh god, that's so in my throat. Oh god. I'll be fine for part 2. I'll be fine.